Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Great.
No, you're fine. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we'll do a call to order. That's me?
Just making sure he's ready. Are you ready, Dave?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I call this meeting to order. There we go. Okay, so just want to request that staff get a staff confirmation that the Kansas Open Meetings Act required notice has been properly provided.
Yes, it has.
Perfect. All right, let's go ahead with roll call.
Okay. Vice Chair Grinter.
Here.
Commissioner Godsey.
Present.
Commissioner Rivers.
Here.
Commissioner Canales. Commissioner Elric.
Perfect. All right, we will move on to the approval of minutes. So I move that we, I guess you guys have to.
Yeah. I would move that we approve the minutes for last meeting.
I second.
Great. One motion, one second, so that passes. Next, we'll move on to new business. Seeing none, we'll go to our public hearing items.
There are no items set for public hearing today.
Perfect. All right, so we will move to administrative items.
Yes, we have the docket review.
Oh, yes, the docket review, yes.
Docket review is the first item under that, and it was provided in your packet, but I'll just do a few highlights and a few updates. Since we printed it last, we have a couple updates. Employment cases, we've had no new cases since the last time we were meeting, and that one remains unchanged. The housing is our biggest area. Just for a record, we have no public accommodation cases since we met last either. It's all in housing area. So in the housing area, so even since this, we've had 3 other cases open, or 2 other cases open, and one that is set for an interview, and we anticipate maybe opening. In addition, I would anticipate that we will have at least one of those go to the commissioner for review before the next hearing, before the next commission meeting. And we have one that we thought was going to go forward, but I think we're going to settle it. We have a tentative settlement agreement. So we'll have two closed out, or at least to the process where it comes to you before then, and an agreement to close the other one. As far as the court cases awaiting for hearing, the one we did have the hearing on just last Friday, where the judge has 30 days to issue a ruling. So we're waiting for her ruling and written opinion, or actually him. It was one that was delayed a while because they had to have the judge recuse herself and finding someone to replace her. So it was a him that replaced her, the judge. So that one, the hearing, and we're waiting to hear on that one. And then the other one that's waiting for hearing, we have a court date in September set. So we did get that, the telephone conference happened, and now it's set for hearing in September. So we anticipate those 2 closing out pretty soon. And I think that's about it. We, like I said, since we created this report, we have two more cases that are actually being investigated, and one potential set for an interview to possibly start an investigation. So that's my update, unless I have any questions on that.
None for me.
Seeing none, we'll go to staff report for the division year in review 2021 to 22.
Yes, and we provided to you a little bit different. We're trying to do more staff reports along with this and just update you a little bit. And this was just a closing out at the end of our year, kind of where we landed on where the percentage of cases were, what the biggest issues were, and the intersections, where they're coming from. So the cases, we actually, I would note for the record, there was only 11 cases that ended up closing when we thought was going to close. As we were writing this, an issue kind of came up, so we only ended up, no, that's right, we closed 11 in housing. We thought we were going to close another one in housing, but we had the one employment case closed. So we did close 12 for the year, but for HUD reporting, we only closed 11. So, I don't know if anyone has any other questions on that report. I thought Marissa did a very good job of summarizing all of our statistics for the year and putting the numbers in there. just so that you'd have that information. I don't know if there were any questions from the commissioners on it.
The year ends as the state fiscal years, right, the end of July
Yes,
3rd?
we did do
Okay.
it by the fiscal year.
Okay,
Because that's
perfect.
what our HUD report and a lot of our reporting goes by. That's when they start over.
Okay.
Our HUD, our FAP agreement, so everything kind of runs on that. But then there's also that delay because they close the year at the end of June 30th, but your reports then are due, like they give you a couple months to get everything closed out, so it's always kind of weird.
Okay.
The city itself and our review and reports we do for them the end of the year, they do it on an actual calendar year.
Okay.
But in the world of our case reports and our case reporting, which mostly is dictated by our HUD agreement, it's the fiscal year.
That makes sense.
That's why we did it now.
Perfect. All right, so next let's move on to an update on the Juneteenth event in Salina.
And this was on for, I believe it was on for our last meeting, but then when we had that meeting canceled, and so that was just kind of, we left that
Yeah.
over just as an update. I thought it went really well. Marissa actually attended, and we had several other people from the city attend, our boss, the development director, and a few others. And I know Commissioner Canales, I believe, was that right? Commissioner Canales made it. And we'll try and let the commissioners know ahead of time if we sponsor again and they give tickets, we'll try and let everyone know a little bit further in advance so you can
Yeah.
use it and plan on that. But I think everyone was pleased with the way the event, and I think they're planning one for next year, so.
Perfect.
Very nice. Seeing no
Yeah,
preliminary.
I went to the wreath laying at the night before for Dana Adams, and there wasn't a lot of people, but it was really good information. I think things that people didn't realize or know. So that was really helpful too. I was glad that I went to that.
Thank you for sharing that. So, yes, I had some other obligations that weekend, a wedding and stuff for family, so I wasn't able to attend myself, but I think some of us did, so.
Nice. Well, seeing no preliminary discussion items, let's move to unfinished or other business.
No,
Oh.
we should have, primarily discussion items. We should have,
It looks like didn't get on there. We were going to just update everyone
Yeah.
about elections our next time and where the status of that. That was the only item.
oh, because that's the July, I apologize.
Did you forget to hit the right
No,
one?
yeah, I printed, that's my fault. I printed the wrong one.
That's
The next administrative item is going to be Law Enforcement Community Review Board for representative appointments.
So is that the correct one posted?
That was the correct one posted. I just printed out the wrong one to hand out. That's
For
my
in here
fault.
today. So posted was the correct one, but there was a law enforcement. We have to make sure we have a liaison. It's time, at this time of year, to appoint one. And then we wanted to remind everyone about elections next meeting are the elections. We'll have a staff report to update
Okay.
everyone like we did last time, but we only have the one, so we opted to not do them tonight when we had the change of chair.
Yeah.
But we do have to do tonight an appointment for the liaison to the
Law Enforcement
Law
Assistance
Enforcement
Review Board.
Assistance
Yeah.
Review Board, thank you.
Yeah.
And they did recommend, they did like the person who's been doing that, so they did want to put that note out there. I think Commissioner Grinter, Vice Chair Grinter, has been that person 2 years in a row, or just last year?
I can't remember. It's
Okay,
it's
okay.
all come together, but I think, yes, it was 2 years now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, but I don't think there's a limit on that. You're still eligible is what we're understanding.
Very good. Well, I enjoy that committee, but if anybody else wants to join that instead, I'd be glad to hand it over.
If you're willing to
Great.
stay, it looks
Yeah,
like.
for sure. Yeah.
So we will put your name down and submit that.
That sounds good.
If the commission all agrees.
Agreed.
Okay, unanimous. Lee.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, great. And then the other thing was just to remind everyone that we have elections. We really could use some more commissioners, if you can remind people. I know they're trying to get out with the website and the Facebook and some videos, trying to get that, but we could really use some more commissioners and letting people know, because this will be about the same time. You have to apply on the city's website. We'll do elections next meeting, right? Isn't that next meeting, Marissa? So my understanding is we do those next meeting, and then the appointments come around there for the new members. I think they start in the September meeting, if I remember correctly.
I think that's right.
But they do the application process now, so encouraging people now to get on and apply through the city's website. So, because we did lose chair, for those who may not have heard earlier, we did lose the chair of our committee. He moved out of town. He retired and moved away. He sold his house, and he is no longer part of the committee. So once you move out of the city, you aren't eligible to stay on the commission. Because we asked if he could appear by Zoom, but when we looked at that, it didn't matter. He would not be eligible.
Makes sense.
So we have 3 openings now.
Very cool. Okay.
So,
And then the last discussion item that's not included on the agenda I printed out is about the study session for September.
and the study session for September, a lot of times when we do the September meeting, the first meeting with individuals there, that's when we do like our board orientation, but we weren't sure. We didn't want to assume this body wanted to keep it at that time. It's usually right after this meeting, or sometimes they've had it right before, which means we would start at 4:30 versus 5:30. And this commission has such a long study session, we usually break it into 2. So it's not everything all at once. And so we didn't know, we wanted to get a feeling from the body tonight if you wanted to do it that September before or after, or if another night works. And that is when that is when I do want to remind, it's not eligible to be on Zoom for the study sessions. They aren't on Zoom, and so it's to be here. They're not videotaped, and it's for commissioners to be here for that educational moment.
So that would be September 6th?
Tuesday, September 13th.
Oh, second Tuesday, yep, okay.
So if no one objects, we would propose just keeping it as before and doing it right after,
Yeah.
is what they typically have done? But if someone wants to,
I will be out of town on the 13th.
okay.
I will as well.
So that might be something we kick over to, since we already know and we are short, and we don't know that we have more commissioners yet until we get the appointments, we may not do that study session just that time. We may
Right.
kick that over to a different meeting.
Nice.
We'll be in touch on that.
Yep.
But we wanted to get a feel.
For sure.
I think that was it, right, Marissa?
Yes, and then the rest is correct.
So, and again, that for the record, it was published correctly, just the agendas that were printed off in the room forgot a couple items.
Not a problem.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. So next we'll move to unfinished or other business, which, seeing none, it looks like we'll move to public forum.
We would note for the record, we do have an attendee by Zoom if she has any comments that she wants to address to the commission.
No, I just heard about this and I wanted to learn more, so I thought I'd tune in and listen.
Well,
So-
I'll encourage you to apply if you are interested in the commission. I might take a note, since you're here today, to let you know a little more about what we do. A lot of the times, this commission is not as active during this session, but the cases are all confidential, but the commission helps decide the cases that are investigated. And so there are certain points when cases go before the commissioners. We elect 3 random commissioners to hear each case that is concluded for investigation, and they give a determination on probable cause or not. So that more of the actions from this commission anyway are done not always in the commission meeting, but during that deliberation. And then we do a fair housing seminar every year, and this commission is active with helping with that seminar. So just an informative, if you wanted to join this commission or any other commission that we have, the city would appreciate your attendance, I'm sure. And now is the time to apply. They're going to start appointing, because the September month is when everyone gets on and gets appointed.
Well, I have my fingers in several things. And I'm spacing out the name, but I am on the board of the other other county meeting. You just mentioned it a little bit earlier. Anyway, I've got several.
Review board that we were talking about, the Citizens Review Board?
Yeah. It's in review board. Anyway, I'm gonna be at that meeting, I believe. So I've got a number of things going. I just don't have time to do any more.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We just wanted to encourage you, and I know this meeting doesn't give you the full view and flavor of what this commission does.
Right. But thank you.
You're welcome.
We tried.
I know, I tried.
All right. We'll move on to adjournment if nobody else has anything to add or any other comments.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Perfect. All right. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.